sa mga kontraktor, mga politiko na sangkot sa mga maanomalya na proyektong ito, nawaho ay gumulong ang inyong mga ulo. Maraming salamat po, Mr.
Former Senator po at si Congressman Saldico, sapagkat yung mismong pagpoproseso ng mga insertions na ito ay nanggaling sa kanilang mga tanggapan. And I'm sure yung mga opisina nila, yung staff nila, sila nakakaalam.
Mr. Chairman, August 4 ako nagsabi, 2025 budget is the most corrupt budget. Hanggang ngayon, wala akong narinig na denial man lang sa previous chairman o sa previous members ng committee. Does this mean na hindi nila kaya i-dispute yung sinabi ko na 2025 budget is the most corrupt budget ever passed in the history of Congress? So I second that motion, Mr. Chairman.
I am objecting on the motion. I am objecting on the motion. I am objecting on the motion. Chairman, I would like to know the reason why, because I would like to find out if we're going to invite them here, are they resource speakers or they are members of the House of Representatives?
Resolution number 88, Congressman Elijah San Fernando, please.
Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, distinguished colleagues, mga manggagawa at ordinaryong Pilipino na nanonood ng umaga po. Mga kontraktor naman, mga opisyal at mga politikong sangkot sa mga maanomalya at ghost projects, wala ho kaming ibang hangad, kundi gumulong ang inyong mga ulo at kayo ay mapanagot at makulong. Just last July, Mr. Chair, we saw families in Malabon, Bulacan, Pampanga, and Laguna wading chest deep in flood waters. Children could not go to school, workers could not report to their jobs, and families lost everything they had built. Just as we thought na tapos na ang paghihirap ng ating mga kababayan, noong mga nakaraang araw lang, nilubog na naman ng baha ang iba't ibang lugar sa Metro Manila, lalo na sa Quezon City. This is the lived, recurring reality of millions. I speak today, Mr. Chair, to enjoin the House to act expediently on a matter of grave importance. The repeated failures and anomalies that plague our country's flood control programs and initiatives. Taon-taon at trilyong pisong halaga ng kapalpakan at katiwalian ang ating pinag-uusapan. Over the past few weeks, Mr. Chair, we have been exposed to a barrage of information about these programs, the contractors, and the politicians linked. Amid the noise, let us stick to the essentials. In 2025 alone, a staggering 308.32 billion pesos has been allocated to water resources development and flood control programs. For context po, kung may Department of Flood Control, ito ang magiging ikatlong pinakamalaking cabinet level agency ng gobyerno. For the 2026 NEP, the flood control budget is 274.93 billion pesos. If there is corruption, Mr. Chair, we are talking of corruption of the grandest kind. Yung mga nagdaang issue at aligasyon ng korupsyon, mani lang sa daang bilyong pondong tinangay sa mga ghost flood control projects. The effects are no less grand in their severity. The past July monsoon and tropical cyclones affected over 4.67 million individuals, displaced more than 309,000, damaged 2,975 homes and 310 infrastructure facilities, killing at least 26 people. These are not mere statistics. Yeah. We are talking of an estimated 4.85 billion pesos in infrastructure losses and 712.4 million pesos in agricultural damage, not to mention the unquantifiable cost of human life. Beyond these numbers, the anomalies and failures of flood control are worth looking into because of a simple reality. Sana po nakikinig ang mga kontraktor, ang mga politiko na sangkot dito. Kapag palpak ang flood control, ang ordinaryong Pilipino ang unang nasasaktan. Kapag bumaha, di naman ang mga mayayamang engineer o mga politikong senador o congressman o
30
mga
seconds,
kontraktor na nakatira sa kanilang mansyon o gumagamit ng dose-dose ng mamahaling SUVs ang naghihirap. Ang naghihirap po ay tayong mga manggagawa at ordinaryo. Tayo ang mas madaling nagkakasakit, mas madaling nasisira ang bahay. If the state fails in guaranteeing adequate protection from natural disasters, it is failing in its basic duty to protect the most disenfranchised in our society. Ghost projects, kickbacks, substandard engineering, ang dami na pong pangalan. No matter the form it takes, we are asking to end this vicious cycle of incompetence and corruption. We are
Time's up, please.
insisting that every death linked to flooding is a preventable death. The oversight function of Congress compels us to ensure that the executive is performing its duties in service of the Constitution, which asks us to protect the right of the people to a balanced and healthful ecology and reduce social, economic, and political inequalities. Kung may kailangang managot, Mr. Chair, panagutin po natin kahit sino pa po sila. If we wish to restore the trust of the people in our government and its institutions, we are compelled to act and to act now. Looking forward, Mr. Chair, we hope that this is the beginning of a conversation about climate resilience and the reforms necessary to equip all Filipinos as we brace for worsening natural disasters. May we start at accountability and end with foresight. We thus offer House Resolution number 88 for the consideration of this House. Muli po, sa mga manggagawa at ordinaryong Pilipinong nakikinig, magandang umaga, maraming salamat. At sa mga kontraktor, mga politiko na sangkot sa mga maanumalya na proyektong ito, nawaho ay gumulong ang inyong mga ulo. Maraming salamat po, Mr.
Thank you. Thank you.
The last part of my question of privilege. The House of Representatives is not only the seat of legislative power. It is the sanctuary of our people's trust. Every member has a sacred duty, a solemn obligation to uphold its honor, defend its name, and to ensure that its integrity remains unblemished. I speak today not to cast aspersions on this House, but to bravely defend its honor, not to shame it, but to safeguard the public trust that our constituents have vested in us. Our duty transcends beyond personal reputation. It is a collective calling to preserve the dignity of this institution. Let us remember that the President himself, in his State of the Nation address, condemned the shameless who robbed the people, castigating them, "Mahiya naman kayo." The entire audience, including members of this House, uploaded those words in good conscience. But now the public asks, if Congress investigates, can the investigation be trusted when some of those accused are congressmen themselves? This is a difficult question, one that cannot be ignored or swept aside. For the credibility of this House depends on our willingness to confront it. Silence will not shield us from doubt. Only truth and transparency can do so. Yes, it is true. We possess the authority to investigate in aid of legislation. Yet, there is a duty higher than this power, which is credibility. The credibility of this institution. Without public trust, our hearings risk of becoming a mere spectacle, empty of substance and justice. If the House investigates itself, will the nation believe in our fairness? Will they see this only as a drama staged to clear the accused by default? Many people will just call it a zarzuela whose ending is predetermined. To truly protect the dignity of this House, we must show we are not above the law nor exempt from scrutiny. Our sacred duty is to set an example. Let us consider an investigation led by independent bodies the Ombudsman, the Commission on Audit, or an impartial panel. Why hesitate if our hearts and records are clean? If we value integrity, transparency must not be feared, but it must be welcomed. We can go further, establish a credible anti-corruption body, modeled after Hong Kong's Independent Commission Against Corruption and Singapore's Corrupt Practices Investigation Bureau, empowered to investigate these allegations without taint of political interest. If we are innocent, a fair investigation will vindicate us. If any are guilty, justice must be done unflinchingly without regard to rank or status. My dear colleagues, no single member's reputation can outweigh the collective honor of this House and the sacred trust of our people. Integrity is not safeguarded by words or pageantry. It is demonstrated by decisive and principled action. Let us show the Filipino people that we fear no truth,
30 seconds, please.
that we are ready to cleanse our ranks if called for. Each of us is entrusted with a sacred duty to ensure that the House of Representatives remain a true pillar of integrity in our democracy. Because at the end of the day, it is not merely the honor of a few that is at stake, but the honor of this entire House and above all, the trust and confidence of the Filipino people. Let us keep always in mind that the truth will come out as it must. So let us be sure that when it does, we are ready, unafraid, and worthy of the trust we hold. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Congressman Ungab. Next, can we restate the motion, please?
Mr. Chair, I move that this committee invite Chairman of the Committee on Appropriation, Chairman of the last Congress, na 19th Congress, para malaman po natin kung paano, ano yung talagang storya, bakit nadagdagan na may 100 bilyon at saan nila kinuha yung mga programa na yon na dinagdag sa pantalang sinasabi po Secretary Bonoan na hindi naman po sila yung nagbigay ng mga programa na ito. Alam niyo po, especially on flood control projects, kung malalaking proyekto ito, dapat po mayroong environmental compliance certificate. So, mahalaga na malaman natin saan galing ito. So, ang nakakaalam lang po yun dito, former senator po at si Congressman Saldigo, sapagkat yung mismong pagpoproseso ng mga insertions na ito ay nanggaling sa kanilang mga tanggapan. And I'm sure, yung mga opisina nila, yung staff nila, sila nakakaalam dahil sila yung nagproseso itong mga insertions.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Chair, I seconded
I would
the
like
motion
to I
of
would like to
Congressman
second.
Rishit.
Yes, sir. No. May I? I would like to second the motion. I would like to explain why. You know, last August 4, I delivered a privileged speech questioning the, I think, mangled beyond recognition 2025 budget. And I was very specific on the automatic appropriations. Almost ang daming ginalaw. So hindi lang yung program appropriation, new general appropriations ang ginalaw pa yung program. In fact, towards my ending statement, I have said the 2025 budget is the most corrupt budget ever passed in the history of Congress. Sinabi ko yan. You know what? Nung araw sa time namin, pag may nag-mention sa previous budget, yung former chairman, tatayo kagad yan sa plenary. Magsasalita, question of privilege, individual and collective privilege, i-explain kung anong nangyari. Mr. Chairman, August 4 ako nagsabi, 2025 budget is the most corrupt budget. Hanggang ngayon, wala akong narinig na denial man lang sa previous chairman o sa previous members ng committee. Does this mean na hindi nila kaya i-dispute yung sinabi ko na 2025 budget is the most corrupt budget ever passed in the history of Congress. So I second that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I am objecting on the motion. I am objecting on the motion. Chairman, I would like to know the reason why, because I would like to find out if we're going to invite them here, are they resource speakers or they are members of the House of Representatives? Are we going to ask them questions? Are they going to answer it? We'd like to find out.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr.
Chairman,
Chairman, may
move
I?
for a few minutes suspension.
Mr. Chairman,
Chairman.
Move to suspend, Mr. Chairman.
there's a pending motion
Session
by
suspended.
Congressman Arrece.
Mr. Chairman, there's
I second.
Yeah, but Mr. Chair, I was listed since this committee assumed,
We recognize her first.
and, with due courtesy to the, very quickly. I just need to go for a personal matter. Mr. Chair, with due courtesy to all my colleagues, kanina lang ay tinanong ni Congressman Shell Jokno at ni Congressman Secretary Laila de Lima na hindi ba pangit na meron tayong komitiba and we might be investigating our colleagues? That's precisely the reason, Mr. Chair, why we are all here, because of our oversight powers. Yes, tutumbukin yan by the third-party investigators, and if there are cases, let cases be filed against the personality. Pero ang punto ko lang, Mr. Chair, I am appealing to our members, wag po nating ilihis na patuloy ito na nangyayari. Nagbago na ang chairman ng Committee on Appropriations, nangyayari pa rin. And tila ako, nung pag-aral ko ng 2026 proposed NEP, merong mga napasok na flood control projects na hindi nang galing sa baba. Mr. Chair, with due courtesy to my colleagues, yes, tumbukin natin later ang Committee on Appropriations, but for now, we have the officers that resigned. I'm not sure if it is already accepted, officials of the Department of Public Works and Highways. We need to know paano ito nangyayari. And also, Mr. Chair, if I move forward, the intent of this committee is to exercise of oversight powers to put in and instill measures para hindi na maulit. Instead of focusing on a single situation, as reiterated, as conveyed by my very good friend, Congressman Ungab, baka pwedeng, we can invite them. We can invite a colleague who is not a member of the four committees. So the former chairman of the Committee on Appropriation is not a member of all the committees here. Eh pwede naman niyang imbitahin. Why do we have to put on motion? Let us not make the investigation personal. Let us all work together so that in the 2026 budget, while we are ongoing the deliberation, let us identify yung mga singit na flood control projects, yung mga cat's eye na nandiyan pa rin at hindi pa rin natatanggal. Let us do our job by putting a permanent seal to to all these anomalous things. With that, Mr. Chair, may I appeal to my colleagues? Yes, let's invite the personalities mentioned. Let's do away with motions and divisions of the House because we are losing focus. Balikan natin, ano bang iniimbestiga natin? Na mapunta ang pera ng taong bayan sa tamang proyekto. Na mapuntahan ang investigasyon sa dapat na mga baguhin, that we have a new secretary, that we will be helping him, maybe put everything in place, all the safety measures, at yung mga admin orders, executive orders na nandiyan dyan, tanggalin na natin while we are all here. So again, Mr. Chair, may I repeat my appeal. The focus of our investigation is to nip the bud, putulin ang ugat para hindi na ulit tumubo. And with that, Mr. Chair, let's move forward to the interpellators that have signified their intention to ask questions. And I believe the Honorable Erice, as I earlier talked to him, is amenable to inviting a colleague. Kung hindi dumating, then let's discuss that. But is that the solution? Because any member of Congress will change, any committee chairman will change. But if the root of the cause of all of this will not be nipped, paulit-ulit pa rin itong mangyayari.
Thank you. Congressman Chanco, then Congresswoman.
Mr. Chair, yun na nga ang problema, no? Nung unang ginawa to, I was against it. how can we investigate ourselves? That is the primary question. So kung ang isang congressman, sabi nyo kanina kahit sino masagasaan, wala tayong sasantuhin, kahit congressman, kahit senador. Eh kung ang congressman hindi pa pwedeng maging resource person at hindi natin pwedeng pa-testify under oath, eh di ibig sabihin sa usapang to, exempted ang congressman. So paano tayo mag-iimbestiga? Paano tayo? Number one. Number two, Mr. Chair, here is the USP. Sinasabi, paano nagkaroon ng insert? Under the name of Congressman Saldico, ang insertion sa BICAM as proponent siya is 13,803,693,000. And we do not want to invite him as a resource person.
Mr. Chair, sorry.
Comsec, can you show this? Para lang
Yeah.
sabihin, hindi ako
Mr. Chair, with
nag-invento.
due courtesy.
Wait, I have the floor.
Yeah, i-correct
I have
ko
the
lang.
floor.
Yeah, but
I have
Mr.
the floor.
No, Mr. Chair.
I have the floor.
Just to, on the
I have the
record,
floor.
On the record, Mr.
I
Chair.
have the floor.
We did not refuse
Suspend.
to
I
invite.
have the floor.
Suspend.
Motion to suspend.
Mr.